The unthinkable things that happened to Catherine Howard, teenage bride, Tudor roadkill, and Henry's midlife crisis mistake. Oh, sweet summer child, you think you've made bad relationship decisions? Wait until you hear about Catherine Howard, the teenage queen who danced straight into the jaws of Henry VIII's midlife meltdown and paid for it with her head. This, my darlings, is not just a royal tragedy. It's the ultimate tale of too young, too pretty, and way too married to a man who smelled like gout and regret. Buckle up for betrayal, bedroom gossip, and the most chilling walk down a corridor in Tudor history. Part 1. Born to be a side note. Catherine Howard was born around 1523. Yes, born while Catherine of Aragon was still queen, and just a few years after Anne Boleyn made head-turning the national sport. So, naturally, poor Catherine was doomed to get dragged into all that royal baggage like a Tudor handbag. She was the fifth wife of Henry VIII, yes, number 5. By the time Henry got to her, he was older, grumpier, widening like a collapsed souffle, and increasingly convinced God owed him a sexy, fertile wife with no opinions. Catherine, she was maybe 16, and Henry, 50 and full of fantasies. Part 2. The Rose Without a Thorn. Henry saw Catherine dancing at court and declared her his rose without a thorn, which is adorable if you ignore the fact that roses still get trampled and thorns were probably the only thing that could have saved her. She was young, lively, flirtatious, and most importantly, not Anne of Cleves. Henry's previous wife had been so aggressively unsexy to him that marrying Catherine must have felt like a second puberty. So, in 1540 they got married. Catherine Howard became Queen of England, and instantly one of the most underqualified, overwhelmed, and overexposed teens in royal history. Part 3. The Court of Whispers and Wardrobes. Catherine liked pretty things, gowns, jewels, compliments, attention. Honestly, same. But she also liked a little something else. Namely, Thomas Culpeper, a courtier with cheekbones and charm to spare. And this is where it all starts unravelling like Henry's waistband at a feast. Before her marriage, Catherine had already had romantic entanglements, plural. First with Henry Manox, her music teacher, a man who absolutely gave ick even by Tudor standards. Then with Francis Dereham, with whom she may or may not have considered herself pre-contractually hitched, which in Tudor legal speak basically counted as a secret engagement. And after marriage, she allegedly resumed night. Part 4. Enter Archbishop Buzzkill. Here comes Archbishop Cranmer with his holy receipts. In 1541, rumours began swirling faster than a Tudor ruff in the wind. Whispers of lovers, letters and stolen kisses reached Henry's ear, and instead of, say, talking it out like emotionally mature adults, lol never, Henry froze. He didn't scream, he didn't yell, he went dead silent. Which, if you're a Tudor queen, is far more terrifying than any royal tantrum. Part 5. The Interrogation Games. The fallout was brutal. Her ladies-in-waiting were dragged in for questioning. Interrogations turned into confessions. Confessions turned into accusations. Accusations turned into death warrants. Francis Dereham, tortured and hung, drawn and quartered. Classic Henry. Thomas Culpeper, beheaded, but still got off light considering the vibes. And Catherine, she was locked in her rooms, alone, terrified, and likely realising that being queen was less happily ever after and more death trap in pearls. She wrote Henry a letter, a desperate plea of love, innocence, and please don't kill me. He didn't answer. Part 6. The Screaming Corridor. In February 1542, Catherine was moved to the Tower of London. Legend has it, and let's be real, we love a good Tudor legend, that she escaped her guards and ran screaming down the corridor, begging for Henry's mercy. Whether it happened or not, the image is unforgettable. A teenage girl, betrayed and condemned, sprinting through stone halls trying to reach the man who had once called her his rose without a thorn. It's giving ghost story, and that's exactly what it became. People say her spirit still runs that corridor, screaming. Part 7. Off with her head. February 13, 1542. Catherine Howard was beheaded on Tower Green. She was barely 19 years old. Her final words, "I die a queen, but I would rather die the wife of Thomas Culpeper." Oof, that's a mic drop in Tudor. She was buried near Anne Boleyn, her cousin, ironically, who'd also married Henry, also lost her head, and also learned too late that being queen was not a safety net. The girl who was never safe. Catherine Howard didn't stand a chance. She was a pawn in court games, a teenager in over her head, and a scapegoat for a king who refused to look in the mirror. She was married to power, surrounded by predators, and executed not because she was wicked, but because she was young, naive, and unforgivable in a world run by insecure men. So if you ever feel like life's unfair, just remember Catherine Howard, Queen of England, child bride, Tudor tragedy, and the girl who danced too close to the fire.